Hi and welcome to this tutorial today. My name is Rachel and this is my dog Darcy, and together we're going to show you how to kick up against the wall coming into a handstand position. So if you haven't already checked out the wrist health and wrist strength tutorial, go ahead and do that. Make sure your body is nice and warm before you practice this. Slide your yoga mat up against the wall, have as much space around you as you can. When you feel ready, let's get started. Coming into a handstand is a gradual process, and kicking against the wall is actually the first step in that handstand journey. So we can use the wall for lots of different reasons: to help us understand our body awareness and help to correct our alignment, to help to build strength in those vital places in your upper body and your core, but mostly we use the wall to eliminate fear. And there can be so much fear when it comes to balancing on your hands and handstands in general. So we start against the wall to understand our bodies a little bit better, and then we'll come away from the wall. So once you can kick up confidently against the wall, that's when I'd recommend to come away from the wall if you can. So before you start, take your yoga mat right against the wall, right against the edge of that. Make sure that it is sturdy and it is strong enough to kick into. So a brick wall is ideal. And when you start your handstand journey, you'll also need to prepare your body. So making sure that you're doing wrist exercises, that you are strengthening your core and warming up the whole of your body before you actually attempt this handstand practice. When it comes to handstands then, the foundation is really the hands themselves. So grounding down into the hands, try to grip with your fingertips like you're clawing into a rock face or something. So when you place your hands down, they don't just stay down and flat, they're actually active, they're working for you, holding you in place. You'll need to take your hands about 30 centimeters away from the wall, so not super close. You want to take them just a little bit further away. Around about 30 centimeters is ideal. The creases of your wrists, try to have them parallel with the very top of your mat. For some people that might be index finger, for other people it might be middle finger, or even the crease there between the index and the thumb. So as long as your wrists are parallel with the top of the mat, that ensures that your fingertips are facing forwards. Now, when we actually come into handstand, we want to start in a downward facing dog position with the hands grounded and planted. Continue to breathe through all of this. Now, that might sound a little silly, but when you're coming in and doing something that maybe you haven't had that much experience in, you might hold your breath, especially if it's a scary concept to you to start off with. So continuously breathe with your natural breath. Your gaze should be between your two hands, and then I'm just going to walk my right foot in and take my left leg up towards the sky. From here, keep the gaze to where your hands are. Bend your knee and start to slowly shift the weight forwards and backwards into the ball of the right foot, or even up onto the tippy toes. So your shoulders are starting to make their way over the top of the wrists. Now, I'd recommend to train both sides of the body. You will definitely have a more natural side, a more dominant side, but it's really good to find equilibrium and balance in your body. So making sure whatever you do on the right side, you also do on the left side and vice versa. The gaze is really important. Like I've already mentioned, the gaze should be directly between the two hands. If you start to look back towards the feet, that starts a rounding action here. And we don't want to do that when we want to come into handstand. We actually want to be as upright and as long and tall as we can be. Another thing that I wanted to mention before we actually start to lift away is drawing the navel towards the spine. We want our core muscles to engage. So when we come into a banana back position like this, where we come into a C-shaped curve with the spine in the handstand like this, we actually lengthen the abdominal muscles. The rectus abdominals along the front are lengthened. Okay, so we don't want to really do that. Instead, we want to create as much strength in this vital core section as we can. And we can do that by pulling the navel towards the spine. So if you just watch what happens to my abdominals, if I'm lengthening, they're expanding. When I bring the navel towards the spine, watch my abdominal muscles. See how they contract as they pull in. It recruits all those muscle fibers to make your core seriously strong. And that is what's going to help you to lift and also to help stabilize that handstand once you get your feet against the wall. So, like I've mentioned, coming into downward facing dog, right foot forwards, left leg lifts. Rocking forwards and backwards. Stay with this to start off with. See how that feels. Make sure your gaze is between your two hands. When that starts to feel comfortable, you can take your feet a little bit closer towards your hands so your shoulders are making their way on top of your wrists. Still rocking forwards and backwards, and then just seeing if you can give a little bit of a lift, a bit of a hop with the right foot. So we're not trying to kick all the way up. Instead, we are leaning our weight forwards into the hands and just starting to hop the back foot away from the mat. Whatever you do on the right side, do on the left side to build the strength equally in the body. When that feels comfortable, I want you to know that a brick wall, it's not going to go anywhere. So you can really trust that. You can kick up into it and it's going to hold you in place when you get there. Fear is one of those things that holds a lot of people back, and I know because I have felt that fear as well. But I really want you to trust this wall and be able to kick into it as hard as you can. So we're going back into our handstand position. It's a very small downward facing dog, so my feet aren't all the way back like this. I have walked my feet in. My leg that's going to lift is the one that finds the wall, okay? So my gaze is down, my fingertips are active. I'm going to shift my weight forwards and back, okay? So this top leg, my left leg, my knee is bent. My toes find the wall, and then I'm going to come back down again. See how that feels in your body, making sure that you're staying with where you feel comfortable. A really good teaching point here is to actually press the ground away. So when you are lifting and trying to find the wall, try not to collapse and bend your shoulders. Try not to allow your chest to fold forwards and down. Instead, keep your arms straight, strong, and active. So it also helps to actually start to round through your shoulders just a little bit. That then helps to draw the navel in towards the spine, like we've already gone through. Also, it's like a cat movement, cat-cow movement. It's the cat stretch here. That really helps to recruit the muscle fibers around your shoulder girdle, and that helps you to become that much stronger as you're starting to lift. So don't bend the elbows, keep the arms straight, press the mat away from you as strong as you can. Coming back to that small downward facing dog. My left leg is going to find the wall. I'm going to kick up, find the wall, right foot finds the wall, extend one, extend two, bend one, bend two, and the foot comes back down again. Okay, let me show you that one more time. Hands are planted, shoulder distance apart, 30 centimeters away from the wall around about. My right foot is going to kick up, my left foot finds the wall. Right foot now finds the wall. Extend one, extend two, press the mat away, rebend the knees, one foot finds the floor, and then the other. So it's all done in a really safe and controlled way. Instead of kicking all the way up and then having your feet crash down together, try to do it nice and slowly. So you can gain a little bit more air time by actually moving your shoulders forwards as you come out of the lift. So let me show you again. I'm going to kick all the way up. I'm going to extend, rebend. One foot comes down, my shoulders are moving forwards towards the wall, and I have a lot more control as my feet land. Once you can kick against the wall, then you can start to actually work on your handstand position. So at the moment, my feet are going to kick against the wall. So my feet are not on top of my hips. My hips are not directly on top of my shoulders. So once you find the wall, take one foot away. Try to play with that balance. Take the foot back on the wall, play with the balance on the other side, and then try to come down. Let me show you. So we're going to find the wall, extend, extend. I'm still pressing the ground away. See if you can take your right foot away from the wall, play with the balance there. Take it back onto the wall, left foot off the wall, press the ground away, and then we find the wall again, rebend, rebend, slowly release down. Once you start to play with your balance, that's a really great opportunity to really pull hips underneath, to draw the navel towards the spine, aiming for that straight handstand position rather than the banana back here. So consciously pull your navel in, engage the core, still press the ground away from you, fingers stay active throughout the whole of this journey. Take your time with this. So try to do this in stages. Listen to your body, listen to the feedback that your body gives you the whole way. But the moment you can kick against the wall, find your balance, then it's time to come away from the wall. So if you're ready for that next step, check out the full handstand journey tutorial, and I will see you next time. Have fun!